As we age, life brings new perspectives. For many of us, life at 55 and beyond might not look like we originally imagined. Whether by choice, through divorce, or the passing of a spouse, many of us find ourselves single later in life. While this chapter might have seemed daunting at first, what if I told you that life could actually be better when you're single after 55? Yes, that's right. While marriage and long-term relationships can bring joy, love, and companionship, being single offers a freedom and simplicity that's hard to beat at this stage of life. So let me walk you through 13 reasons why life is often better when you're single after 55, each grounded in personal growth, freedom, and the wisdom that only years of experience can bring. 1. Freedom from judgment and criticism. Anyone who's been in a long-term relationship knows that over time, it's easy for partners to become each other's critics. Whether it's how you dress, how you handle stress, or even how you perform certain tasks around the house, judgment can creep in, often unintentionally. While these critiques may come from a place of love or concern, they can still feel overwhelming. Over time, constant criticism can erode your confidence and leave you feeling as though you're always falling short. When you're single, you are free from that external judgment. There's no one to tell you how to live your life or evaluate your choices. If you want to wear comfortable clothes that might not be the height of fashion, that's your decision. If you want to spend the day lounging around or being productive, no one is going to criticize you for it. You get to make decisions based on what makes you happy, without the added pressure of someone else's opinions. This freedom from judgment allows you to live more authentically and build a stronger sense of self-confidence. 2. No more emotional labor. Emotional labor is one of those invisible tasks that often falls disproportionately on one partner in a relationship. This includes managing not only your own emotions but also the emotions of your partner, soothing their anxieties, managing their stress, or even keeping the peace in the household. While this emotional work is necessary, it can also be draining, especially when it feels like a one-sided effort. When you're single, you are no longer responsible for someone else's emotional well-being. You can focus entirely on your own mental and emotional health, free from the burden of managing another person's feelings. This newfound freedom allows you to build healthier relationships, whether they're friendships or romantic connections, based on mutual respect and support rather than emotional caretaking. You'll find that life feels lighter without the constant responsibility of managing someone else's emotional state. 3. Financial independence. No compromises. Financial independence is another significant benefit of being single later in life. You control how you spend your money, where you invest it, and how you manage it. In a relationship, financial decisions are often joint efforts, requiring discussions about budgeting, saving, and spending. While joint finances can work for some, they can also be a source of tension, especially when partners have different financial priorities. When you're single, those discussions disappear. Your money is entirely your own, and you can make decisions based on what matters most to you. Want to donate to charity, invest in a new business, or spend on hobbies and travel? There's no need to justify your choices to anyone else. This financial independence allows you to live more freely, knowing that your money is working to support your goals and desires. 4. Rediscovering your relationship with your children. For those of you who have children, being single later in life offers a unique opportunity to redefine and strengthen your relationship with them. When you're co-parenting or married, your relationship with your children is often influenced by your partner's parenting style, beliefs, and decisions. Sometimes you might find yourself compromising or backing up decisions you don't fully agree with, simply to keep the peace. But as a single parent, especially when your children are grown, you have the freedom to engage with them on your own terms. You can offer advice, guidance, and wisdom without feeling the need to coordinate with someone else. You become a calm, rational presence in their lives, someone they can turn to for support without worrying about the dynamics that come with a partnered household. This shift can lead to a deeper, more meaningful connection with your children. As adults, you're no longer tied to the complexities of a marital relationship, and that newfound independence can foster a healthier, more balanced relationship with your kids. 5. Simpler, more liberating intimacy. The first thing you might notice when you're single after 55 is how much simpler intimacy can be. In a long-term relationship or marriage, intimacy often becomes intertwined with emotional complexities. There are expectations, unspoken agreements, and sometimes even compromises that can overshadow the joy of physical connection. You might find yourself negotiating for intimacy or, worse, feeling as though it's a reward tied to other aspects of the relationship like chores, behaviors, or emotional states. But when you're single, intimacy, if you want it, becomes a choice, not an obligation. You set the terms, whether it's casual, long-term, or something in between. Your intimacy is entirely based on your own desires, free from the entanglements that come with marriage. You can engage in relationships when you want to, with whomever you choose, and in a way that works for you. Or if physical intimacy is not a priority, you can simply focus on the things that bring you joy without any guilt. It's a kind of liberation that only being single can offer. You make the rules, you decide when and how, and most importantly, you get to enjoy the freedom that comes with no longer having to navigate the complexities that often come with long-term marital intimacy. 6. Living life on your own terms. One of the most powerful benefits of being single later in life is the ability to live life exactly the way you want. By the time you reach 55, you've likely spent decades balancing the needs of others, whether it was raising children, managing a household, or compromising in your marriage. Now you have the opportunity to create a life that reflects your true desires without the need to accommodate anyone else's preferences or schedules. Want to spend your weekends traveling, exploring new hobbies, or just relaxing at home? You can do so without feeling guilty or needing to compromise. Whether it's taking up a new sport, indulging in artistic pursuits, or simply enjoying a quiet evening with a book, your time is your own. You no longer have to consider anyone else's needs, allowing you to fully embrace your passions and interests. It's a kind of freedom that many married people might not realize they're missing until they experience it for themselves. 7. A stronger sense of self. One of the most profound changes that can happen when you're single later in life is the opportunity for self-discovery. After years of being part of a couple, it's easy to lose sight of who you are as an individual. Your identity can become intertwined with your role as a spouse or partner, and over time you might forget what truly makes you happy. Being single offers the chance to rediscover who you are outside of those roles. You can explore your likes and dislikes, your passions and interests, and your values without the influence of a partner. This self-exploration can be incredibly fulfilling, leading to a stronger sense of confidence and independence. You learn to trust yourself in your decisions, knowing that you're capable of creating a life that brings you joy. This newfound sense of self often leads to greater happiness and inner peace. 8. No more negotiating the small stuff. It's not just the big decisions, like finances, that feel different when you're single. Even the small, everyday choices become easier. In marriage, even the most mundane things, like what to eat for dinner, what time to go to bed, or how to arrange the furniture, can become negotiations. Over time, these little compromises can wear you down. You might find yourself constantly making decisions based on what works best for the other person rather than what you actually want. But when you're single, those negotiations disappear. Want to eat dessert for dinner? Go ahead. Prefer to stay up late watching your favorite movies or reading? There's no one to argue with. You can make decisions based purely on what makes you happy. These small freedoms might seem insignificant, but over time they add up to a much more relaxed and enjoyable daily life. You get to live exactly the way you want to without the constant back and forth that often accompanies shared living. 9. The gift of peace and quiet. Finally, one of the most underrated benefits of being single later in life is the ability to enjoy peace and quiet whenever you want. In a relationship, especially when sharing a home, there's often constant activity or conversation. While companionship can be wonderful, there are times when you just need space, both physically and mentally. When you're single, you have the luxury of creating moments of stillness. Whether it's enjoying a quiet morning with a cup of coffee, taking a peaceful walk in the park, or simply reading a book without interruptions, the ability to control your environment brings a sense of calm. This quiet time allows you to recharge, reflect, and appreciate the simple pleasures of life. It's a gift that many married people might not realize they're missing until they experience it for themselves. 10. Financial freedom. You call the shots. One of the most significant benefits of being single after 55 is the financial independence that comes with it. By this point in your life, you've worked hard, saved, and possibly invested in your future. In a marriage, finances often become a shared resource, which means compromises, whether it's how to budget for vacations, invest in retirement, or spend money on everyday expenses. Financial decisions are often a source of negotiation and sometimes stress. But when you're single, you control your finances completely. Whether you want to take that dream vacation, splurge on a luxury purchase, or even invest in something new, you don't need anyone's approval. You can make decisions based entirely on what you value, without the need to consider someone else's priorities or long-term goals. For many people, this financial freedom is incredibly liberating. After decades of having to compromise, you can now manage your money in a way that reflects your true desires and goals, whether it's traveling the world, investing in hobbies, or even giving generously to causes you believe in. It's all in your hands. 11. Rediscovering old hobbies and exploring new interests. One of the greatest joys of being single later in life is the freedom to dive back into hobbies and interests you may have set aside during your years of marriage. Whether it was due to the responsibilities of raising children or simply the need to compromise with a partner, many people find that they lose touch with the activities that once brought them joy. Now you have the time and space to rediscover those passions. Whether it's painting, gardening, writing, or hiking, you can fully immerse yourself in these activities without the constraints of a busy household or the need to coordinate with a partner. Or perhaps you're interested in trying something new, taking up photography, learning a new language, or joining a book club. The point is, being single allows you to fully invest in your own growth and exploration. You're free to pursue whatever interests you, without having to worry about whether someone else shares your enthusiasm. 12. Your home, your sanctuary. Your home is your sanctuary, a place where you should feel completely comfortable and at peace. But when you're in a relationship, your home often becomes a shared space where decisions about decor, layout, and even how to use the rooms are negotiated. This can lead to compromises that make the space feel less like yours. When you're single, your home becomes entirely your own. You get to decide how it's decorated, how it's organized, and how it's used. Whether you want to turn a spare bedroom into a personal library, an art studio, or simply a place to relax, the choice is entirely yours. Want to repaint the walls a color you love or get new furniture? There's no need to discuss it with anyone else. Your home reflects your personality and becomes a place where you can truly relax and enjoy life, without the compromises that come with shared living. 13. A social life on your terms. When you're in a relationship, your social life often revolves around shared friends and activities. You attend events together, host dinners, and spend time with couples who may or may not share your interests. While this can be enjoyable, it also means that your social life is often tied to your partner's preferences. Being single allows you to redefine your social circle. You can choose who to spend time with, when, and how often. You're free to cultivate friendships that align with your values and interests, whether it's reconnecting with old friends, making new ones, or joining groups based on hobbies or activities you love. You control your social life. You're no longer obligated to attend events that don't interest you or socialize with people who aren't a good fit. This freedom to curate your own social life leads to more meaningful connections and a greater sense of fulfillment. Conclusion: embrace the freedom of being single. In conclusion, being single after 55 can be a life-changing experience that offers a world of opportunities for growth, freedom, and happiness. Whether it's rediscovering old passions, exploring new interests, enjoying financial independence, or simply relishing the peace and quiet of your own company, this stage of life is full of possibilities. You've spent years working, raising a family, and making compromises. Now it's time to embrace the freedom that comes with being single and live life on your own terms. After all, you are in control of your own happiness, and the possibilities are endless. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you find these stories inspiring and motivating, please comment 1. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.